Being an entrepreneur is something that everyone should have a right to do and everyone should learn the skills in. Being a creative and innovative leader is something that's inborn in all of us. It's part of our human race. It's part of our DNA. It's why we live in the world that we live in today. Sadly, education is not building those skills or giving those skills to our young people. In fact, in my opinion, and in that of many others, the education system is very broken and sorely lacking on really giving our young people what they need in order to thrive, in order to walk out of the classroom doors and into a world that is very unknown, ever changing, and continually developing with the skills that they actually need to navigate and invent and create and design and work and thrive within that world. We're teaching them to pass tests. We're teaching them knowledge that they will really never use. At least 90% of what we teach them, especially within secondary years. And we're leaving them with frustration and boredom and anxieties because of the testing criteria and expectations, because of shame and blame put on them when they fail or when they don't achieve a certain level. Being left to feel that they're not enough. Being frustrated that they have ideas when they look outside of the classroom window and they see adults and other young people creating and designing and innovating and doing, and they see the world changing so fast. And when they're sat at home and they're on their TVs or they're traveling with their parents or they're on their computers, they're learning things that they know they're going to need in the future, but they're not getting taught it today in their classroom. I've heard many of them say to me, it kind of feels like the first 17 years of our life are a bit wasted. And every day sat in the classroom just feels we're being talked at and we're being pressured to attain in grades rather than being given something that we really need for us. They want to know how to pay their taxes and buy airline tickets and open businesses and communicate with people outside of their culture or race. They want those things and they're frustrated that they don't get them. My name is Tirzah Elese and I'm the founder of the Classroom of a CEO. And I have a course called Rise Founders. And within that course, we help them to learn all those things that I've been talking to you about that are missing. The Rise Founders is a 16-week, very dynamic program that's designed to unlock their knowledge of their brilliance, entrepreneurial thinking, really generate confidence, and teach real-world skills that young people really need when they leave the classroom. Like I said, this is not about grade passing. This isn't about stresses or pressures to achieve my way. It opens the door for their independence, their autonomy, their innovation, and their creative thinking, but rooted in skills that they could use wherever they choose to go in their work life or in their career path. RISE stands for Realize, Innovate, Strategize, and Execute, because that's the process that you go through when you're starting an entrepreneurial journey and go through it. Realize starts with you. We root this course in Ikigai, which is the Japanese theory of truly finding your center and finding your place and your purpose in the world. So in Realize, we focus on what are my superpowers? What's my brilliance? What am I amazing at? What is it that I can offer others because I know it, I love it, I'm interested in it, and I've created skills in it. Another part of Realize is we look outward and we think, what does my community around me need? What is happening in my world around me? What are people needing, wanting, buying, looking for? What are their pain points? What are the things they're loving? Then we go into Innovate and we start to design, well, how can I take my brilliance, mix it with what's happening in the community and come up with something that might solve some problems? Because when you have something that solves a problem, immediately you have a business. When we move over to Strategize, that's where they start delving deep into creating a business plan. And in their business plan, we start with canvassing their business, finding their avatar, who's going to be their customer, who will buy from them. And we learn a lot about the depth of people's minds, the theory of mind. Just because you think it's a good idea and maybe some other people think it's a good idea doesn't mean everyone will. And that doesn't mean it's wrong. So we start to understand difference. We start to understand true diversity and individualization. Then finally, we learn the execution skills. So we start to put together that finance plan. We learn how to create our elevator pitch. And we do some public speaking practice so that we can stand really confidently and present and project our business to the world and get those customers, investors, and partners that we're looking for. And guess what? Just because they're 15, 16 doesn't mean they're too young for that. We have a platform for them to speak to people, link with their community leaders and innovators who are also doing what they're doing just a few years ahead. As you scroll down in my website, you'll be able to see a description of what each age band is gaining in their course. You can click here to see the full syllabus of what your children will gain, or you can hop on if you're a parent or a teen or a school, and you can book your place into the next course. Additionally, on the website, you'll see more detail into what we have for our young people. You'll see all of our members as they're growing. You'll see that we have a private members area, which keeps a really safe space for young people to interact, to share, and to talk without being vulnerable to the big World Wide Web. We have other special services where we offer mentorship. We can offer additional English courses in case they're feeling they're not quite keeping up. And that's a really good way to grow your English skills because we're doing something fun while we're studying English. We have a blog and we have other courses. Luckily, I'm pulling together a whole group of experts who are offering other elements that your children might be interested in, such as AI literacy or Excel spreadsheet literacy, being really au fait with using some of the tools that are on the internet and on the web and in our computers, so that when they walk into those businesses that they're looking to get jobs in or they're creating their own, they will have a really good foundation of what bosses or the world is expecting of them. As you scroll through our website, you'll be able to get testimonials of what some of our moms are saying, what some of our mentors are saying about how they're growing and appreciating the course that we're offering. So join us as we prepare young people to become the entrepreneurs, the CEOs, the leaders and the innovators, the thinkers, the inclusive communicators and creative minds that you want your young person to be when they leave education. You really won't want to miss out. Click on all the links below and book your place today.